Laws of Attraction, Chapter 10, Strategic Retreat. After the whirlwind of LA, you and the team, and Marcus, hurry across the country on a red-eye flight. There's a sense of anxious anticipation as you approach your gate in New York. Does everyone have everything? Things could be chaotic once the door opens.
It's like they said on my, I am Red Rover team. The only way out is through.
Marcus, do you think you can handle this? I don't have a choice. Alright, brace yourselves, people. Exiting into the terminal, you're immediately assailed by flashing cameras and jutting microphones. Give us some space, please. Marcus, gaze readers want to know, how did you kill Aliana? Marcus, is it true you helped Aliana fake her own death? How do they even know where to show up? Welcome to the wonderful world of celebrity. Ignore them and keep moving. We'd better hope they don't find out that what we know about Marcus and her relationship, or the lack thereof. Shielding your eyes from the flashing cameras, you hurry through the terminal to the fleet of waiting town cars. Well, that was obviously hellish. I suppose we should expect it. It's a celebrity murder case. It's basically prepackaged for gossip ghouls. Sounds like those ghouls already know I'm in the big bad in this horror story. Marcus. Don't worry, we know better. And what's more, we're going to do everything we can to make sure the world knows that too. Thanks, Quinn. I know it shouldn't matter, but it means a lot to me to hear you say that. On that note, we should get out of town as quickly as possible, before they figure out our next move. You drop off Marcus and Gabe near the office, which is thankfully paparazzi-free. Marcus begins unloading his luggage from the town car as Gabe steps out to help him. Alright, everyone, go home, shower, pack. We'll be leaving from the office for Sadie's cabin in 2 hours. Do not be late. And let me remind you, the town we're headed to is very upscale woodsy. Try to blend in. A pack of bespoke-suited lawyers.
Will set off every reporter's radar for 100 miles?
Good. You understand the stakes before you go, only because I don't want to hear about it again this weekend. Your rankings. I'm at the top. I know this. Okay? Dum-Dum's at the bottom where he belongs. Damn straight I'm number 1. Now hurry up. Every minute we waste is another minute those bloodhounds have to track our scent. Back at your apartment, you take a quick shower and open up your closet. Alright, what says I'm home in the woods upstate? Impress everyone with a diamond choice. I mean, okay. Screams I've never camped out ever in my entire life, but sure. They'll probably mistake me for a local in this. No. Half an hour later, you arrive at the office, where the entire team is waiting at the lobby, overnight bags at the ready. Martin looks you over and scoffs. Did you actually go shopping? Did you manage to scare up an outfit like that so quickly? Some people are just able to manage style. No, matter of the occasion. Quinn's clearly one of them.
Yep. Quinn's taking us to school once again.
You're right. I think the sweater is very upstate, for the record. Sure, Marty, keep telling yourself that. Gabe walks off the elevator, bag slung over his shoulder. Everyone ready? Fair warning, the answer had better be yes. Where's Marcus? Waiting in the cars. Frankly, the less he shows his face between now and the arrival in Hamlet Grove, the better. I see at least one of you took the phrase, dress for success to heart. Well played, Quinn. You'll fit right in. A good lawyer has to be able to adapt, right? Always. Not that I wasn't convinced you were a good lawyer, or wasn't, but I'm always happy to have proof of concept. Sadie is the house, making sure everything is set up for us. Let's not keep her waiting. You all head downstairs, where you see 3 town cars waiting near the curb. All ride with Marcus and Bao. Oh, hell no. Gabe and Martin. Aislinn and Gigi. Why can't they just have intermingling sexes? Okay, whatever. I'm riding with the girls. Party car? No. Or, hear me out. Quiet, meditative car. I'm still fighting off jet lag. My name's Aislinn, and I hate fun and love sleep. My name's Gigi, and I can't take anything serious. That's what you sound like. I'm with Aislinn. Maybe we should just focus on the task at hand. This isn't exactly going to be a restful trip upstate after all. But that's exactly my point. Law can be a bona fide bummer, particularly for black men. Oh, for the love of... You watch as her shoulders slump, and for the first time you realize there's more going on behind her cheery demeanor than you thought. I may seem unfocused, but I know the gravity of the situation, and when we get there, I'll do everything in my power to help make our case. But I can't go an entire car ride with nothing to focus on about how unfair the justice system really is. It's depressing, okay? Really? Bill Cosby would like a moment of your time. Don't worry, I'll wait with that awkward silence as my proof of concept. The three of you ride along in silence for a while, then Aislinn clears her throat. So, I heard this is really prominent tech lawyer, has a house in Hamlet Grove, not too far from Sadie's. Supposedly, he's pretty cute. Gigi raises her eyebrows and shoots Aislinn an impish grin. Now we're talking. On a scale of 1 to Mount Vesuvius, how much does he make you want to erupt? Oh, the cringe is just getting worse right now. Okay, clearly we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm just saying, I'm taken, so I gotta live vicariously through you two. I think we'll have to leave this one up to Quinn. Honestly, I doubt he's my type. Oh. Ridiculously wealthy tech law power players aren't your type? I think you know exactly what my type is, Quinn. What about you, Quinn? Think you might get lucky upstate? I think, that's unprofessional. Yeah, can you imagine Sadie catching us doing the walk of shame from his house? It's only a walk of shame if you're ashamed of yourself. I guess I can't really mix business with pleasure. Shrugging, Gigi cracks open a can of seltzer and pops her earbuds in, leaning back to watch something on her phone. Thank God. So, what do you know about this house, Aislinn? Well, Sadie owned the place for decades. I guess the town has something sort of a retreat for the city's most powerful. Per usual, Sadie was ahead of the trend. Now she uses the cabin as a reward for clients and colleagues. Are there that many people gunning to head into the woods of upstate New York? Absolutely. The town may look small and homey, but the social capital you gain up there is astronomical. So you're saying it's a town-wide networking event all the time? I don't think it's quite that banal, but being seen at the lake is a sign you've made it to certain circles. And you can meet a lot of people in very rarefied spheres if you spend enough time there. Hours later, you finally pull in the driveway of the massive estate. Sadie is waiting for you all as you get out and gather your belongings. Mr. Sharp, everyone, welcome to my home away from home. Whoa, this is a hell of a place, Sadie. Thank you, I enjoy it. Before we get started, let me point out some of the main features of the house. She gestures behind you. The hiking trail starts at the end of the driveway there, and a few more spring off from the backyard. Don't worry, while they are maintained by the Park Service, the section that runs through the property is private and gated. Just don't make the mistake I did during one of my visits and head out at night without a flashlight. You'd be surprised how expansive a few acres of property can feel when it's too dark to spot the trail markers. Private trails, that's a nice perk. Not according to Will Pringle. His property adjoins Aunt Sadie's to the west. He tried to sue to get access to him. You can guess how well that went for him. Wait, Will Pringle is the CEO of Patterson Group? That's the biggest financial firm in the city. He lives next door. Yep, but their lawyers are second-rate at best. That's enough gossip, Bao. Now if you'll follow me inside. You blink as you take in the scale of the place, a luxurious decor. You lean over to whisper to Aislinn, who seems just as stunned. It's like something out of an interior design magazine. Seriously, no wonder the partners are all angling for an invite. This room will serve as our command center for the weekend. I'll set you all up in private bedrooms. Luca can sort your luggage. Tell him I want my usual bedroom, sheets on the top of the bunk, make sure Marty's on the other side of the house from me. What's that supposed to mean? I don't snore or sleepwalk or anything. But I totally do, and you'd be one to freak out and stab me if I accidentally wound up in your room. That's a fair point, actually. Any other requests? Speak now, or Luca will make up the bedrooms at random. Honestly, I'd love a view of the lake. King-size bed if possible. I do my best work if I'm well rested. And I tend to starfish. I don't. I can't turn to curl up in the fetal position. Are you sure that's enough, Your Highness? Maybe you'd like to request a gold-plated toilet seat while you can. Nah. Gold's just beneath me. It's too soft. If you're trying to imply Quinn is out of line, I disagree entirely. Knowing what you want and being confident enough in your worth to demand it, well, it's always impressed me, and thus high society folk get along. Second, but then we all know where I learned all my tricks. Glad to hear it's no trouble. I will still say you sound like a diva. Literally, have you heard yourself? I trust you can manage the rest on your own. You all nod. Good, Marcus, Gabe, you stay here and we'll get up to speed on the developments from LA. The rest of you head into town for a few hours. I need you refreshed and ready to work this afternoon. Is that clear? Still, stick near Quinn if you can. Dressed like that, I'll give you the Main Street cred this town demands. I'll drive. Pressing for the setting and press Sadie. You arrive in the center of town. It's small but filled with historic-looking buildings. Really cute boutiques and homey diners. It's all so cute. It's like walking into a Hallmark movie. It's also cute. Reminds me of It Lives in the Lake. And nothing's changed. You'd think how much we pay Pixelberry, they'd at least add something.
Except instead of hunky actors, this place is filled with New York's most successful.
Does that mean we have to be in serious lawyer mode the whole time? I doubt the titans of industry will recognize any of us. Besides, Sadie was pretty clear about wanting us to clear our heads before we come back. Oh, I think this is a gift. How often do you get this far out of the city? He gestures around the small, quaint town square.
I always like the place. It's like a neighborhoody.
Honestly, it reminds me of home. This is like this, everyone knows everyone. Yeah, I think that's nice. That does sound nice. Every day you feel like the emperor of your own little realm. That's not really what I was saying, Martin. It speaks to me, okay? It's nice, I like it. Moving on. You're the closest to a local bar. Where do we start?
The candy store?
The candy shop. Do. What are you, 6?
Be a killjoy if you want, but their taffy is legit. My Aunt Sadie loves it.
You enjoy your sugar rush. I'm gonna check that old bookstore for anything I haven't read yet. I want to drop by the flower shop. Their delphiniums looked gorgeous, plus Sadie always had fresh flowers in her office. What about you, Quinn? Where are you headed? Is there a coffee shop? Is there seriously a coffee shop? We got bookstore. No. We got candy. No. Florist with Aislinn. The two of you head into the flower shop. As soon as you cross the threshold, Aislinn stops smiling as she takes a deep breath of the fragrant air. Are you going to buy anything, or are you just appreciating the colors? And the smells. Don't forget the smells of flowers. Right now, I'm appreciating them, but I think we'd both be smart to buy Sadie a bouquet. It would only be polite as her house guest, and if it just happens to butter up in the partnership competition. See, thinking like a partner already. Moments later, the shop owner approaches the two of you. Hi there, anything I could help you with? Actually, I'd love a dozen roses, please. I'm not sure Sadie likes roses. They're not for Sadie. She flushes as she realizes what you mean. Oh, sweet. What color would you like? I guess I'll leave that up to you. I always liked blush roses. Oh, and we're also like a mixed bouquet of your freshest flowers, please. 1 bouquet and a dozen blush roses, coming right up. As the florist hurries off to pull together the flowers, Aislinn turns to you, smiling softly as she takes your hand in hers. You didn't have to do that, Quinn. I wanted to. And I also want to kiss you. With a gentle touch, you tip her mouth up to yours. Her lips press softly against yours for a moment before she melts against your chest. The kiss deepens as your bodies warm each other. Finally, after a few sweet, breathless moments, she pulls away. Making out in a flower shop in a quaint small town, maybe we really are in a Hallmark movie. Why does everybody have to just line everything up with Hallmark? Not everything is... You know what happened before Hallmark was made? Romance. Everything's a fucking Hallmark thing now. Whatever it is, I'm happy it's happening. The owner hurries over with her arms full of flowers. Oh, these are beautiful. Saddie's definitely going to be impressed. And I'm so glad you like them. Anything else I can do for you today? I think we're set. Thanks so much for the help. Once you finish up, you head back into the town square. You find the rest of the associates already gathered. I suppose we should probably head... And just then all of your phones buzz at the same time. Damn it, I'm officially run out of ways to kill time in the town this small. I guess we could walk somewhere? Is there a coffee shop? I asked multiple times now.
Clearly you're not thinking like a local yet.
Cabela's gaze towards a bar. Reasonably packed.
I know it looks divvy, but the place pours are heavy and the lunch menu is surprisingly on point.
I will say I've been surprised how much spending time with you all helped me to focus on where it counts.
It probably could be smart to clear our heads while we can.
Aislinn smiled shyly at you, treading her slim fingers between your own.
Plus, if we're off the clock anyway, a dark back corner of a bar wouldn't be the worst place to go.
Enjoy the small town charm in a diamond choice. Why not? The bar is lively. The buzz of the conversation is drowning out the faint strains of classic rock on the radio. I'm not sure I've been into a bar that's divey. At least not one that wasn't deliberately aiming for ironically divey.
Yeah, we all know you don't have taste, Martin.
If your idea of taste means going to places with mechanical bulls in the corner, I'm fine with that assessment. See, I was thinking I should get one of those for my apartment. As decor. Do you really want me to go into more detail about how I'd use it? No, because I have this thing called imagination in a dark corner of my mind. Yep.
I'm exclusively deciding no for the group.
Bow, why don't you grab us a table? I'll get the first round. Split off from the group and head to the bar. Above the bar is an advertisement for the hangman's shot, strong enough to make you wish you were dead. Welcome to the hangman. What can I get you? I'll have a round of, hangman shots. You sure? You're not from around here, you know? Absolutely. And I want to know what death tastes like. At least you know what you're in for. You return to the table with the shots in hand, just the smell of the drinks burning your nose. What is this? Down it in one. Everyone raises their shots and downs them immediately. Everyone's face screws with a mix of shock and fear. This was a mistake. Oh, it tastes like a tire fire.
Why, Quinn?
Not bad. Oh, of course she says this.
Anyway, since I somehow managed to get all you nerds to the hangman, we should talk about Betsy in the corner.
Betsy? You're talking about the mechanical bull, aren't you?
Damn right. It's a McGraw tradition to challenge all the newcomers to see who can last the longest.
Oh, hell yeah. As a group, you make your way over to Betsy. Val looks around expectingly at all of you.
Well, you're not getting out of this one.
I'd like to see you win that case in a courtroom. Oh, fine, I'll go first. Oh, perfect. Now I can learn from you falling on your ass. You ease yourself into the saddle. Betsy comes to life, bucking back and forth. Your hands clench the reins as her increasingly frantic movement threatens to throw you off. This is way harder than I thought. But
You're doing great, Quinn. Just remember to lean the opposite way of her movement.
How would you know this? Betsy rears back and then dives down, threatening to send you tumbling forward over her head, and thus why you lean back in the seat. You press your body back as the bull tilts forward, flexing your thighs so you steady yourself. And easily you keep your seat. Woohoo! Go Quinn. Take a note, Martin. Don't get cocky yet, Quinn. Suddenly, Betsy shifts backwards and tilts almost vertically. You hold on the reins for dear life as the mechanical bull suddenly begins to spin. Hold tight. Nice try, Betsy. Barely budge, body seemingly to intuitively understand how to move against the bull. Eventually, Betsy begins to slow and you relax your grip. That's all you got? Yeah, this is called the lull between the storms. As if responding to you, Betsy suddenly leaps forward and you go spilling onto the floor. Not the most dignified landing, but honestly, I'm impressed.
Seriously, who knew Quinn would be a bull rider, ringer? Alright, Martin, now's your chance to finally win something meaningful.
Fine, but if I get hurt, I will sue. That's not how the bull thing works. Climbs onto Betsy, clutching it like a baby koala, grabbing his mommy. The bull begins to buck. Oh crap! You expect him to go flying, but somehow he's hanging on. Martin goes fully limp, letting each toss and turn ragdoll, and somehow he manages to flow with the momentum. That's because you don't tense up while riding a horse or a bull that's bucking. You just ragdoll, literally. You just hold on and ragdoll.
I've never seen anyone play it that way.
Eventually, Betsy slows and comes to a full stop. Shakily, Martin climbs on.
I think I did it.
Win. I did, didn't I? I won? I guess going limp was a winning strategy. Who knew?
Any other takers?
Nah, I've had my fill. Unless you really want to show us how it's really done, bow. Hey, I thought you wanted one in the corner of your room for purposes.
Maybe some other time.
You're staring at something behind you, glance over your shoulder, see a woman looking at him, recognition on both their faces. Do you know her?
You could say that. Are you going to say a little more, or... we had a thing when I spent summers up here in high school. She might have been my first kiss, but I never thought I'd see her again.
So stop making googly eyes at her and talk to her.
You think? I don't know if Nadia even remembers me.
She clearly remembers you by staring at you and exclamation pointing. You look at the woman again, who seems to be whispering to her friend, eyes darting towards her bow. She definitely remembers you. This is so cute. But, you got no chance with her.
Who said I wanted a chance with her anyway?
I don't give a shit about relationship. He can go screw himself. Your face?
Whatever, you guys are breaking me down. I'm gonna go shoot some pool.
As Bow leaves, Gigi elbows Martin and points at a dartboard. Come on, McFly, play me. I'm McFly. Marty McFly? Sorry, no. There's a limit, Gigi. Whatever, play me. What if I don't want to? Because you're afraid to lose, coward? You're trying to goad me into playing. And? It's working, you're on. They head off, leaving you and Aislinn at the table. The music changes to a slower ballad. And then there were two. I like this much better. Everyone all at once feels like we're still in the thick of the competition. Just you and... Amazing, breathtaking. It's the greatest moment of your life. I was gonna say nice, but those work too. Aislinn, would you like to dance with me? I want to dance. You want to dance with me in this, to this song in a small town dive bar? Are you sure the universe can handle that level of cliche? Swear to God, if you say Hallmark one more time, I'm gonna cliche my ass to the other love interests. We're taking the risk if I get to dance with you. When you put it that way, I'd love to. You hold out your hand, and she takes it and rises to her feet. The music seems to fade away as you pull her closer and begin to sway. You rest your hands on her hips, saving the heat of her body. How close her lips are to yours. This is nice, Gwen. Would be even nicer if you kissed me right now. You lean down, and her lips meet yours halfway, warm and welcoming. She sucks in a startled breath as your tongue runs along her bottom lip. Then her lips part and her tongue flits against yours, the sensation sending shivers over your entire body. She wraps her arms around you tightly, and you can feel the warmth of her body pressed against yours. Your kisses grow hungry, and you squeeze Aislinn against you, but finally she pulls away. As nice as this is, we should probably get back soon. To be continued? Absolutely. You continue to sway together well past the end of the song. finding comfort in the world that exists between our arms until finally it's time to head back to the house. Sometime later, your phone all buzzes again. Looks like it's time to get back. All gathered in the living room to start talking case strategy. Marcus is there as well, but you can't help but notice his leg bouncing rapidly, like mine when I do this content. Sadie, before we get started, Aislinn and I wanted to give you a little something as a thank you for your hospitality. You present the flowers, and Sadie examines them closely. Oh, lovely. It's so rare that someone remembers the little niceties. Manners are so important in our field. It's the least we could do. Brown noses. You're just mad you didn't think of it. Let's get started. Gabe, Marcus, and I spent the last few hours going over the case. Let me paint the picture as I see it. The public already thinks our client is guilty and his alibi is flimsy at best, possibly damaging. Gabe, I trust your instincts, so I assume you know something I don't, because right now I don't see how this case is winnable. Wait, are you serious? I didn't do it. If you are sugarcoating, or want to sugarcoating, there are firms I can recommend, but it's not what you did or didn't do, it's what we can prove. Wow, Sadie isn't really pulling her punches. No, because it's called the truth. Something a lot of people can't handle, and that's why we have a society of wet paper bag skinned folks. She turns to you and the other associates. Now convince me I'm wrong. I have a few possibilities I'm turning over, but I want to see what you all come up with first. The mansion has a full-time staff. One of them probably has something in the background we could use to introduce reasonable doubt. We could even go further. Eliana was a public figure. A crazed stalker is never out of question. Strong seconded. With no hard evidence linking this to Marcus, muddying the waters would be more than enough to get a few jury members. Thoughts on Martin's strategy? I think, it's a bad plan. Without a specific suspect, we're pitting our circumstantial evidence against theirs. That leaves way too much room for error. I was thinking the same thing. It's risky at best, plus the public might still see Marcus as guilty. The point isn't winning hearts and minds, it's winning cases. Can't we at least try it? Martin's approach would only work with the perfect jury. You can't rely on that. It's a last-ditch effort, not a first-string strategy. Are you saying we can't manage a basic jury selection? No. Only that we shouldn't start out on the defensive. We need to play to win. A reasonable doubt defense is playing not to lose. Agreed. This will give me a better idea. I think Marcus's phone data should help strengthen his alibi. I have it all right here. It puts you in the pool house all night. Yeah, except it's never that specific. Hold on, you pulled my phone data? Everything we do is in your best interest, Marcus. Besides, the prosecution almost certainly pulled it as well. And before you protest, we know you've been living in the pool house. Gabe and I searched the place. We found the ring. She holds up a file, and Sadie gestures for it. Marcus, you were texting regularly with the same number from about 8:30 on. That sounds like she came over at 10. Yeah. Let me get this straight. You not only withheld vital information about your relationship, you failed to disclose the extents of a potential alibi witness. It's complicated. I guess I hope the evidence would exonerate me without me having to... Tell your attorneys the truth. And don't make that kind of assumption again, Marcus. You're on trial for your life. Hey, Gigi! Come here! Can we hear about, how, the injustice that, someone withholding evidence from their attorneys? Can we hear about that, too? The fact that people run their mouth to the police and they don't listen to the simply remain silent and ask for an attorney. Gigi, come here! Oh, she left, guys. Sorry, I couldn't get her to... shouldering, slumping, Aislinn clears her throat and turns back to the file. According to the location data, Marcus's phone stayed in the pool house until the next morning, when he moved to the gym in the main house. The coroner's report places the murder between midnight and 1. Marcus's guess can solidify his alibi. If the witness is credible. Seems like the key to the case. Alibis matter to juries, and the cell data would give them that much reason to believe it. It could work, but I'm also still not sure it's enough to hang an entire case on. Sadie keeps flipping through the phone data, then looks up, eyebrows raised as she turns her insightful gaze on Marcus. Judging by the nature of these texts, I have a feeling this particular witness might make Marcus look more guilty in some people's eyes. Marcus, who precisely were you texting with? Her name is Bella Prashett. Whoa, that is not what I expected you to say.
Wait, she's the one who got famous when she, went topless in Dominion, right?
Bella acted a ton and stuff since then, and she's good. I'm sure that's true, but most of the world knows her as a sex symbol. Which means using her as an alibi will convince everyone you were cheating on your beloved murdered girlfriend with her. Oh, I wasn't cheating! Allie and I weren't even together. Doesn't matter. Public thought you were. And if it looks like you were going behind Lenia's back, they'll turn against you both. We can introduce Bella if we have to, but it's a double-edged sword at best. It was a good thought, Allison, but the uniquely public nature of the case complicates things. We need more. Bao, what have you got?
I'm still working on my strategy.
Well, that's disappointing. Bao shrinks in his seat, then he talks in his voice smaller.
I mean, I was thinking something similar to what Martin said, build up enough doubt and the jury will never convict.
Disappointing and unoriginal. Moving on. We know the public, or the police don't have a weapon, and we know Marcus doesn't own guns. There's no hard evidence to tie him to the crime. Will people believe he couldn't have found and disposed of a gun if he really wanted to? Literally, people are hung on that every single day, let's be real. It's called unlicensed guns, Marcus. I'm not implying that this is what happened, but if you asked a trusted assistant to get a gun on the down low, could you? Probably, yeah. You're right. At least one jury member will probably reach that conclusion. But I see this case working more holistically. It's not going to be a single smoking. Well, you know. This is one piece of the puzzle, and hopefully all of it together will add up to too much reasonable doubt for them to convict. Marcus stands with enough force to knock his chair over. Everyone's head snaps toward him. This is bullshit! I'm standing trial for a murder I didn't commit, and the only options are to give an alibi and nuke my career? Or point out all the reasons it couldn't have been me, and hope it convinces a jury of my peers? Trust me, I know how it sounds, but I believe this can work. There's something there. But overall, we should probably try to find something more concrete than an absence of a weapon. On that note, Quinn, what are you thinking? Saddie's not gonna like this. We go for an insanity defense. No, he's clearly not insane. That completely would go against everything Marcus doesn't want. It would drown his career, it would drown him, and there's no reason for insanity. What would be the insanity defense? All my ideas have already come up with. No, I don't want to do that. I think we should also milk the media. I mean, that's literally how every celebrity does it, so... This case will be very public, no matter what we do, so we lean into that. The press conference was a good start. Go on. We build up the momentum, set up interviews with sympathetic outlets, maybe place an emotional exclusive in a gossip magazine. Shape the public opinion into what we want it to be. It won't matter what the prosecution comes up with to a degree. It's risky, but I like it. Ideally, this would be part of a both-and strategy, but I agree that it's the best idea we have so far. You are all supposed to be the best representation money can buy, and you still don't get it. I don't want to go free on some technicality. You need to find out who actually did this, not just for me, but for Allie. Marcus, I promise we're all working around the clock to do exactly that. How about you just sit down and what? Quietly accept the fact that I'm probably going to jail? No, do better, because this isn't good enough. Oh, let me guess, Marcus. You want us to catch the person for you. It might be, if you weren't actively impeding this case every step of the way. Excuse me? The only lead we have are thanks to the team. They discovered you weren't sharing a home with Allie anymore. But you implacably decided to withhold that. I understand that this is difficult for you, Mr. Sharp. But if you refuse to work with us, it won't be our fault if this doesn't go your way. You don't... Allie was my best friend. All of you acting like this is just some abstract thing that happened, but she died. She's gone, and Okay, I still don't understand the ring. If someone could please, tell me what the hell it's all about. Because clearly they were living separate. I need some air. He rushes out the door before you realize what you're doing. You jump up. Marcus, wait. You hurry out to find Marcus standing at the edge of the docks, arms wrapped tight around his chest. Even from behind, you can tell he's wound tight. He sucks in a deep breath as he hears you approaching. I'm fine, okay? You heard her. You should go help out the crack legal team. Not waste time on me. Marcus, you're clearly not fine. And honestly, there's no reason you should be. You move up next to him, giving him some distance as you both stare at the water. Saddy stuff. But no one's blaming you for being upset. Not even her. She's just trying to do the best job she can for you. I hear that, but I haven't even been able to grieve her, you know? 1 minute she was there, now she's gone. And I can't even feel that, because we have to find out the best strategy. I can't imagine how hard this must be. Thanks for that, but it doesn't bring her back. Well, it's an injustice, my dude. He shakes his head, looking out over the water, his Adam's apple working furiously. So what, did they send you to do damage control? No, Marcus, I'm here because I care about you. I can't imagine how hard this is for you, and I know hearing us all talk about it that way can't be making it any easier. But you have to know we're all trying to help. It might come off a little clinical, but that's because we're trying to focus all of our collective legal brain power on this. Marcus stays silent, but nods along with your words. I know it's a cold comfort, but every single person in that room cares about you in their own way. They're all just working to find the truth. His posture relaxes ever so slightly. I get that, it's what I'm paying you all for, but it's hard to be under a microscope that way. Of course it is. But it might be easier if you didn't try to fight it so hard. What do you mean? Lying to your lawyer, even a lie by omission, is never a good plan. For example, take the information about the pool house. I mean, you found it out pretty quick, and so did the prosecution. Okay, but what if someone else had found it first? Found the ring first? Can you imagine the damage that could have done? Marcus grimaces. Okay, I hear you. It's vitally important you're honest with us. If not for our sake, for yours. I know you're right, but it's just complicated. Not just the case, but what was going on with me and Allie before this. I know if I tried to go in there now and talk about it, I'd... His lip quivers and his voice cracks. I can't handle it right now. It's easy to talk to you. But when everyone is clustered around, picking at me, it feels like an attack. His eyes heavily sucking in a deep breath, pinching the bridge of his nose until he has himself under control. Something tells me a diamond choice is coming up between me and Marcus. I'm gonna take a walk in the woods, clear my head. Join Marcus to help him on this diamond choice. Look at that, I called him. Do you want company? You said it yourself. It's easy to open up when it's just me, and we need to ease you into the whole opening up thing. Fair enough, but this isn't a chance to interrogate me. I can't promise I won't multitask. He shakes his head, but you spot a slight smile as you follow him towards the trail. The woods are quiet, save for the crunching of leaves beneath you. Sound as crisp as the air. So, how are you liking New York? He laughs. I like that not everyone here thinks I'm a cold-blooded murderer, at least not yet. I'm pretty sure if you were, most New Yorkers would still ignore you so long as you minded your own business. Of course, we're pretty far outside the city. The woods upstate must be pretty boring compared to LA. They are, which is my favorite part of them, honestly. It reminds me of home. I grew up in a suburb outside of Chicago, and we take trips up to the lakes and Wisconsin a lot. Smiles. Besides the smile slipping from his face. I still haven't talked to my folks since, you know. I wonder what they think about all this. Marcus, they must be heartbroken for you. They are. It might sound selfish, but that's kind of the reason I don't want to talk to them. What do you mean? Since it happened, all anyone's done is felt heartbroken for me, and it's getting hard to handle. I'm not sure I can take all their pain on top of mine, you know? I do. The whole thing's just complicated. It kicks a branch out of the path to punctuate the statement. You keep using that word. Care to explain what you mean? He sighs deeply. So, you might have guessed from the pool house, but Allie and I hadn't been a couple for almost a year before all this. But how's that possible? According to everything I heard, you two were the perfect couple? I mean, yeah. I should call my PR guy. He'll be thrilled. Hang on. Are you saying the entire relationship was fake? No, God, no. But it had its run. It ran its course. We just weren't each other's person. His speech picks up pace with more life breathed into each sentence. Like he's finally coming up for air after a long time submerged. We wanted to make the breakup public, but our agents thought we should maintain the facade for a little bit longer for both our careers. Every time we talked about going public, it was always, we're close to closing on a leading role, one more month. Eventually, it became like any other role. In public, we would play the part of the perfect celebrity couple. And in private, it was fine, honestly. A little tense at first, but any breakup is. I didn't lie about loving her. We just realized we were better as friends. And the engagement ring? Eliana's agent's idea. He wanted to stage a proposal to keep us in the spotlight, even bought a ring on my behalf. And we weren't down for that. There are some things you shouldn't fake. I stashed it until I could return it. Marcus, be honest. Were you seeing anyone else? I wish, trust me. I'd been very ready for a new relationship. What do you mean? I was worried I would sabotage this whole thing if I started something new. Allie was less worried. I don't know who it was, but there was a black SUV parked out front a lot in the evenings lately. Could it have been a friend? Maybe, but if it wasn't any friend I'd ever met. And I don't know why she couldn't, or wouldn't introduce me in that case. Marcus, was the black SUV there the night of the murder? Actually, yeah. I saw it just outside the main gate around 11. I know because Bella and I were waiting on takeout. That could be the lead. Why didn't you mention it? Because you needed to jog his memory and unjar the tightness that he's experiencing. The car wasn't there in the morning. I honestly forgot about it. I don't think whoever it was might have had something to do with it. I don't know. It's definitely worth looking into, though. The timeline certainly matches, and there was a reason. The partner is usually a suspect. A passion is a powerful, dangerous thing. Wow, you might be right about this opening up thing. I would have never thought of that without talking to you. The smile drains, he turns and stares into the brush. But the police couldn't retrieve any security footage from the night, right? So this car, it doesn't help us at all. That's not true, especially because it's there in the past. You step up to him, he looks taken aback at the sudden emotion. Marcus, look me in the eye so you know I mean what I'm about to say. This is important. You can't give up, ever. If you give up, this whole thing is pointless and we'll never find Ellie's killer. Think of whoever did do this. Are you ready to surrender and let them win? Hell no. Hell no. You shake your head, momentarily overcome by emotion. You know, I realized you cared about this from the start, but knowing I have you in my corner, is it weird to say I'm feeling hopeful? I think it just shows good judgment. His smile fades as he looks at you. I guess we should go back. Marcus, do you need a hug? Yeah, actually, I really do. He steps towards you and you wrap your arms around him. He grips you tightly, body shuddering slightly, and you can tell how much he needed that moment of reassurance. It's okay, my dudes. It's okay to hug one another. really is. Emotions for guys is fine. Wow, I really needed this. Honestly, me too. You aren't sure how much time passes in the quiet of the night, but eventually you step away from one another. I think it's about time to head back. We don't want them sending out a search party. You can go back. I think I need a few more minutes on my own, but I promise I'll be back soon, and I'll be ready to open up. Alright, just promise not to trip and break your leg, and I'll get so fired if I let that happen. Good to see where your priorities lie. You turn and head back to the cabin, the revelations already tumbling in your mind. Back at the cabin, you fill in the others on what you learned. When Jinx was right, Marcus and Allie haven't been together for almost a year. Interesting. There's more. He's pretty sure Allie was seeing someone who drives a black SUV, and they came by the house the night of the murder. Did he see them drive in? No. Still, they could have been parked nearby. Them being there right around the time of the murder is definitely important information. This is valuable information to be sure, but
isn't that exactly the sort of lead we're looking for?
Yes and no. We know there's someone else who might be behind this, even someone who's likely to be behind this. But we have no way of finding them. Precisely. We know there's someone to look for, but right now that's all we know, and I don't have to tell you. That's not enough, and time's running out. You're learning more and more about your client. Will you be able to track down the new murder suspect, or will it turn out to be a dead end? Keep playing to find out. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below. There are links to our social media, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and my content. Without further ado, please consider subscribing if you're not already. Also, please hit that like button. Literally, if you watched this video and you enjoyed it, or just watched it, it's just a like button. It just helps out this community, it helps out this video, it helps out this channel. It's as simple as that. And sharing is just as equally as important. And subscribing? Well, subscribing is the ultimate importance, because that way you show, yeah, I want to be a part of this community. I also want to benefit this community. I want to get benefited by this community. I want a community that is just all around awesome, and that has someone at the helm doing a variety of content that you enjoy. And you can also suggest your own content to do as well. So, without further ado, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Much love. Catch you all later. Peace.